Hey guys, it's Owen from Wrestling Inc. back with another Wrestling News Roundup. Without any further ado, let's get into today's biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling. Title change on last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. Not only did Wardlow receive new theme music yesterday evening, but Mr. Mayhem is also moving forward in the company with his first championship title. Wardlow managed to defeat Scorpio Sky in the opening contest of the show to become the brand new TNT champion. The match didn't last too long, and despite a low blow by Sky, interference by Lambert, and plenty of other heel tactics from the former TNT champ, Wardlow emerged with the victory. This is the second time the two men have battled for the TNT Championship. In their first encounter, Wardlow's arch-nemesis MJF interfered in the match and helped Sky pull out the victory. Since this was a street fight, there was no way for Sky to escape his fate and the Powerbomb Symphony. Wardlow first made his presence known in AEW during the 2019 All Out pay-per-view when a video package aired teasing his debut. He appeared in person the first time on November 13, 2019's episode of Dynamite by attacking Cody Rhodes and aligning himself with MJF as his bodyguard. His first official match with AEW came in February of 2020, where he lost to Cody Rhodes in a steel cage match in the main event of AEW's Atlanta, Georgia debut. In recent months, Wardlow reached new heights of popularity by managing to defeat his former boss, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, at Double or Nothing on May 29. The two had a slow-burning feud that saw MJF humiliating his bodyguard on several occasions until Wardlow finally dissented and turned the tables on Friedman by assisting in his loss against CM Punk in a dog collar match at AEW Revolution. The two haven't interacted since, as MJF has been completely off all AEW television since his passionate pipe bomb promo on the June 1st episode of AEW Dynamite. Christian Cage brings up Jeff Hardy's drug and alcohol issues on AEW Dynamite. Christian Cage has been in the headlines for the past few weeks simply due to his offensive promos, and this week proved to be no different. But instead of coming for the former Jurassic Express member Jungle Boy, Cage dished out a piping hot dish of insults at Matt Hardy. Cage and Luchasaurus came down to the ring during AEW Dynamite to talk about how they have taken on darker personas in recent weeks. That is when Matt emerged from the back to a decent pop from the crowd. He got the crowd laughing when he said that Cage is, quote, the Michael Jordan of being an asshole. He also added that he was becoming great friends with Jungle Boy before he was sidelined due to the attack by Cage during AEW Dynamite Road Rager. Cage found it laughable that Matt would come to the defense of Jungle Boy, saying that he didn't know the four pillar of AEW like they did. That is when he dropped his first reference to Matt's brother Jeff Hardy. Quote, "You're starting to make your brother sound like the sober one," Cage told him. Things would eventually become physical between the two men, but with Luchasaurus by his side, Cage easily kept the upper hand while directing Luchasaurus to do his bidding. The segment wrapped up with Luchasaurus chokeslamming Matt through a table at ringside, while Cage kept hurling insults into his ear. Jeff Hardy was charged with another DUI after being arrested following a traffic stop on June 13. Authorities say Hardy's blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit. The charges against Hardy include a third DUI offense within 10 years, which is a felony in the state of Florida, as well as driving with a suspended or revoked license and a violation of restrictions placed on his driver's license. Hardy is currently suspended without pay from AEW and reportedly entered rehab on June 21. AEW faction breaks up on Dynamite. Blood will always remain thicker than water, even in the context of pro wrestling. Billy Gunn made his loyalty known Wednesday as the Gun Club, aka the Ass Boys, turned on the Acclaim during the July 6 AEW Dynamite episode. The turn was teased on last week's show after Max Caster, Austin and Colton Gunn took a loss to Danhausen and FTR in a trios match. Following that loss, Billy seemed infuriated with his son, shoving Austin to the ground with force and yelling at Colton. However, he appeared to be supportive of Caster and the returning Anthony Bowens, surprising his sons in the process. On this week's show, the Gun Club and the Acclaim prevailed over Roughing It, Fuego del Sol and Bear Country in an 8-man match, but the ending of the match would trigger their split. Caster appeared to have the match won after hitting the mic drop, but Austin had other ideas, blind tagging himself to score the pinfall victory. After the match, an argument would ensue between the four men, leading to the Gun Club attacking the Acclaimed. Billy would eventually intervene, pulling his sons to one side and calling for peace within the stable. Just then, Billy stuck Caster with a clothesline and followed it up by hitting his signature Famouser on Bowens. First Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor match is revealed on AEW Dynamite. As noted, Tony Khan's Ring of Honor is heading back to pay-per-view on July 23 when the company presents their Death Before Dishonor event in Lowell, Massachusetts. Up until now, fans were left to speculate on what matches will be taking place during the show, but after last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, things are starting to fall into place on the card. Following weeks of backstage segments featuring Jay Lethal, Sonjay Dutt and Satnam Singh calling out Ring of Honor television champion Samoa Joe to defend his title or give it up, we now have our answer. Joe will return to action on July 23 to defend his title against Lethal in a one-on-one match. Also announced on last night's show, Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club will be defending the Ring of Honor Pure Championship against the Jericho Appreciation Society's Daniel Garcia at Death Before Dishonor. The two factions have been feuding for months, and with Wheeler and Garcia sharing similar styles and positions in the company, it'll be entertaining to see who emerges victorious under Pure rules. It is yet to be confirmed, but another huge match that was teased for the pay-per-view when FTR's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler appeared in a backstage segment and issued a challenge for Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions to the Briscoes. The teams competed against each other at Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor 15 event this past April in a universally acclaimed tag team match. Backstage news on Colt Cabana's AEW and ROH status. Question has lingered in the back of wrestling fans' minds since August of last year. Can Colt Cabana and CM Punk coexist in 2022? According to a recent report from Fightful Select, many on the AEW roster also wondered about Cabana and Punk's contentious relationship. The report says that several talent found out that Cabana's contract with the company was likely not to be renewed, causing concern among many, as Cabana is a very popular presence backstage. Numerous talent, quote, went to bat for Cabana, and in the months since then, Cabana wrestled at the AEW-produced Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor event. Cabana is said to, quote, be almost never at AEW television, and that the wrestler has not been booked to compete in an AEW ring either. Despite concerns and rumours, Cabana's profile on the AEW roster page remains active. Around mid-April, rumours were that Cabana was re-signed with AEW, but through the company's Ring of Honor promotion. Cabana is a member of AEW's Dark Order faction that recently lost members Alan Angels and Stu Grayson. The team has seemingly been placed on the back burner in the grand scheme of AEW's plans. Originally the best of friends, Colt Cabana and CM Punk's relationship reportedly soured after the two were sued by WWE Dr. Christopher Amon in 2018 over comments that Punk made on Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast after his release from WWE. The pair won the suit, but a disagreement over legal fees led to Cabana suing Punk later that year. When signing with AEW in August, Punk said that there was no one in the locker room with whom he had a bad relationship. But that night, as it seems to be the case with many nights since, Cabana was not in the locker room. So what are your thoughts on today's Wrestling News Roundup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling Inc. and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.